Welcome to SATV News. This is Tushi Amin with our headlines. Independent power plant contract signed under Army League rule to be reviewed, says finance advisor. Failure of consensus commission would be a collective failure, says Professor Ali Riaz. Supreme Court to hear appeal petition on 21st August grenade attack case, challenging acquittal of Tariq Rahman on Thursday. Now in details. Finance advisor Salehuddin today said there are inconsistencies in the agreements signed for independent power plants during the tenure of Army League government. A decision has been made to review all these deals, he added, after meetings of the Cabinet Committee on the Government Purchase and the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs held at the Secretariat. Speaking to reporters about the decision, the finance advisors say there are many foreign companies involved and the High Court has already issued directives to review the IPP contracts. The advisor further stated that as legal matters are involved, the review cannot be done unilaterally. National Consensus Commission Vice Chair Professor Ali Riaz urged all political parties to demonstrate flexibility on the remaining reform issues and reminded them that any failure to finalize the National Charter by July would be a collective failure. Professor Riaz made the urge while presiding over the 14th day of the second round reform dialogue with political parties at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital today. He noted that while consensus had already been achieved on several constitutional issues, a few others were agreed in principle at earlier stages and a number of critical points remain unresolved. Discussions will be continued on the remaining issues, said Professor Riaz, adding that responsibility for any failure in consensus building would not be rest solely with the Commission. Besides, he reminded the participants that the mandate of the Consensus Commission was shared with the political parties. The Commission has called for the resolution of all outstanding issues in the next few days to meet its deadline. Today's discussion included major constitutional reform proposals such as the formation of an upper house in the future bicameral parliament and the question of women's reserve seats. The High Court has fixed Thursday for the hearing appeal petition filed challenging the High Court order that had acquitted all accused, including BNP acting chairman Tariq Rahman and the former state minister Lutfozzaman Babor in the 21st August grenade attack case. A 5-member bench of the appellate division led by Justice Syed Rifat Ahmed passed the order. Senior advocate barrister Jamiruddin Sirkar and 10 others stood for the accused, while Attorney General MD Asaduzzaman represented the state. On December 1st last year, the High Court acquitted Tariq Rahman, who had been sentenced to life imprisonment, and Lutfozzaman Babor, who had been sentenced to death, along with other accused in the case. The grenade attack was carried out on August 21, 2004 in Dhaka's Bangabandhu Avenue that left 24 people dead and nearly 300 others injured. "55 lakh low-income and poor families across Bangladesh will receive 30 kilograms of rice per month at a subsidized rate of Taka 15 per kilogram from next month," announced Food Advisor Ali Imran Mojumdar. He made the announcement today during a briefing at the Secretariat. The government's food-friendly program will resume from August. Under this initiative, each of the 5.5 million families will be entitled to 30 kilograms of rice monthly for 6 months at the reduced rate of Taka 15 per kg. According to sources, the government is preparing in advance to ensure food security and address the impact of ongoing floods. As part of this effort, 4 lakh tons of rice will be imported under government management, while the Ministry of Commerce has been instructed to facilitate the import of an additional 5 lakh tons through private channels. The subsidized rice will be distributed during the months of August, September, October, and November. 48,000 expatriates from 9 countries apply for voter registration NID. A total of 48,080 Bangladeshi expatriates from 9 countries, including Saudi Arabia, have applied for voter registration, said ASM Humayun Kabir, Director General of the National Identity Registration Division of the Election Commission (EC). Speaking to reporters at the Election Commission building in Agarga today, Kabir stated that the biometric data has been collected from 29,646 applicants so far, and 17,367 of them have been successfully been added to the voter list. He also announced that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has granted permission to begin voter registration activities in 5 additional countries: Oman, South Africa, Jordan, the United States, and the Maldives. Preparations, including the development of necessary equipment, are currently underway, he added. At present, NID services for expatriates are being provided through 16 Bangladeshi mission offices in the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, Italy, Kuwait, Qatar, Malaysia, Australia, and Canada. The Election Commission aims to expand NID services to 40 countries in phases. Bangladesh Nationalist Party senior leader AZM Zahid Hossain today alleged that a conspiracy is underway to delay the national election by deteriorating the law and order situation in a planned way. There is a clear conspiracy. If the law and order situation can be worsened, it is likely to benefit certain quarters, he said. The BNP leader made the remark while talking to journalists in front of the Institution of Engineers Bangladesh after visiting the venue ahead of the professionals' planned program there on July 21st, marking the first anniversary of the July mass uprising. He, however, expressed the hope that the election would be held in time, foiling all evil efforts. Dr. Zahid, a member of BNP's standing committee, said, "The way the Chief Advisor and the Election Commission are moving forward, we hope that they will fulfill their commitments to hold the election by mid-February." Referring to the recent brutal murder of a scrap dealer in the old part of the capital, he said, BNP does not support or condone any kind of wrongdoing or injustice. Viewers, taking a short break, please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Foreign ministries of the European Union met in Brussels on Tuesday to discuss Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha joined the Foreign Affairs Council by video conference. EU countries are close to reaching an agreement on a new package of sanctions against Russia, the bloc's foreign policy chief Kaja Kallas said on Tuesday, July 15. The European Commission last month proposed the 18th package of sanctions against Russia for its invasion of the Ukraine, aimed at Moscow's energy revenue, its banks, and military industry.
Okay. I can see you as well.
The Palestinian death toll in the Gaza Strip has risen to 58,386, with 139,077 injured since the conflict between Hamas and Israel erupted in October 2023, Gaza's health authorities said in a statement on Monday. In the past 24 hours, Israeli military operations in the enclave have claimed 120 lives and injured 557, further accelerating the humanitarian crisis, the statement said. On the same day, Israeli fighters' jets targeted central Gaza's Nusayrat refugee camp, striking a vehicle distributing drinking water. The attack resulted in 1 dead and 4 injured. A report released by the Gaza's health authorities highlighted the Israeli forces have arrested at least 360 medical workers since October 2023. Many of the detainees, including numerous doctors, are enduring appalling conditions. This has left tens of thousands of injured and ill Palestinians without access to critical medical care, deepening the healthcare crisis. Meanwhile, the health authorities have urged the international community to take immediate action, calling for Israel's detention of medical workers to be classified as a crime and demanding their release. They emphasized the need for global pressure to address the crisis and ensure justice. Since October 2023, the Israeli military operation in Gaza has resulted in the deaths of at least 1,400 medical workers, highlighting the devastating impact on healthcare services in the region, according to the health authorities. Iran will deliver a proportionate and appropriate response if France, Britain and Germany, collectively known as the E3, triggered the sanction snapback mechanism. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismael Baghai warned in Tehran Monday. The warning made by Baghai at a weekly press conference came after the E3 threatened to reinstate international sanctions over Iran's nuclear activities. The snapback mechanism is a clause in the 2015 nuclear deal between Tehran and world powers, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action (JCPOA), that would allow the other parties to reimpose all international sanctions should Iran fail to comply with the agreement. Denouncing the E3 trade as politically motivated and lacking legal and moral standing, Baghai said Iran still considers itself a member of the nuclear deal, and Iran's reduced compliance resulted from the flagrant violations by the United States and certain other signatories. The E3 have violated their own JCPOA obligation, he said, adding that using the mechanism has no topicality given the recent Israel-US attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. The threat to use the snapback mechanism is purely a political act, which aligns with the US confrontation stance towards Iran. Iran will undoubtedly respond accordingly, said the spokesperson. Baghai ruled out resuming nuclear talks between Iran and the United States until the effectiveness of diplomacy and the negotiation process is assured. India and China must resolve friction along their border, pull back troops and avoid restrictive trade measures to normalize their relationship, India's foreign minister told his Chinese counterpart in Beijing on Monday. India's Subramanyam Jaishankar met Wang Yi in Beijing during his first trip there since 2020, when a deadly border clash between their troops led to a 4-year military standoff and damaged ties until a thaw began in October. Good progress in the past 9 months for normalization of relations is a result of the resolution of friction along their border, Jaishankar told Wang. The positive momentum in bilateral relations is hard-won and should be cherished, Wang said, according to a readout from his ministry, adding that the two countries should enhance political trust properly, handle differences and expand exchanges and cooperation.
9 months for the normalization of our bilateral.
China's foreign ministry on Tuesday reiterated its opposition to any likely transit to the United States by Taiwan President Lai Ching-te, who will most likely stop over in the country while a visit to Paraguay next month. China firmly opposes any form of official interaction between the US and Taiwan. The Chinese government resolutely opposed the leader of the Taiwan authorities visiting the US under any name or any reason, ministry spokesperson Ling Jian said during a regular news briefing. Visits by Taiwanese president to Central and South America always involve what are officially only stopovers in the United States, given the distance from Taiwan, but are often the most important parts of the trip, given Washington is the island's top international backer and arms supplier.
应认清台湾问题的高度敏感性，恪守一个中国原则。
At least 89 people were killed and about 200 others injured over the past 2 days in escalating clashes between Druze militia and the Bedouin tribes in southern Syria's Sweda province, reported the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights on Monday. Meanwhile, the Syrian Defense Authority, in a statement carried out by the state-run Sana news agency, put the death toll at more than 30 and the injuries at some 100. Armed fighters were seen clashing late Monday in Sweda with fierce exchanges of fire between the conflicting parties. Attributing the escalating clashes to a breakdown of institutional control, the Syrian Defense Authority stated that specialized military units have been deployed to separate the warring factions and secure evacuation routes for civilians. The Defense Authority urged restraint, warned that continued fighting would only deepen civilian suffering, and affirmed its commitment to restoring stability through coordinated operations with interior forces. The root of the conflict lies in an earlier incident where a young Druze man was assaulted and robbed by the armed Bedouins at a temporary checkpoint near Al-Masmial. In retaliation, local Druze fighters detained several Bedouin members, escalating the situation. Now sports. Croatian superstar Luka Modric has signed with AC Milan, aiming to help the Italian giants bounce back from one of their worst seasons in the recent years. The 2018 Ballon d'Or winner inked a one-year deal with Milan on Monday, with the option to extend for another season. His move comes after a glittering 13-year spell at Real Madrid, where he won 28 titles, including 6 Champions League trophies, 6 Club World Cups, 5 UEFA Super Cups, 4 La Liga titles, 2 Copas del Rey and 5 Spanish Super Cups. A lifelong Milan fan, Modric admired Croatian legend Vladimir Boban, who played for the Rossoneri in the 1990s. He had announced in May that he would part ways with Madrid. Although the agreement was reached prior to the Club World Cup, Modric could only join Milan after fulfilling his final commitment with Real Madrid in the United States. His last match ended in a 4-0 semi-final defeat to the Paris Saint-Germain. Before ending, we'll go to the headlines again. Independent power plant contracts signed under Army League rule to be reviewed, says finance advisor. Failure of consensus commission would be a collective failure, says Professor Ali Riaz. Supreme Court to hear appeal petition on 21st August grenade attack case, challenging acquittal of Tariq Rahman on Thursday. You're updated with the top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.